Hi, people. How you guys doing? So we're getting into Charlie Kirk shuts down pro open borders liberal. Pro open borders liberal. So they're liberals and they believe the borders should be open. If the borders should be open, then I mean there shouldn't be no border. But let's hear what they say. Maybe they have like a good argument here. Okay, so let's just hop right into the video.
My name's Nicholas. I was just wondering, what exactly you think about undocumented immigrants? So, what would you say about the dairy industry and things like that, which their backs are built off of undocumented immigrants?
Hire American.
Hire American? Yeah, but then we'd have to pay them more because
Exactly.
right now
We would have to pay them more, and we would see higher wages, and the middle class in America would boom.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people fight against higher wages. Why is that exactly?
Well, I'm sure corporations fight against higher wages. That's why they want a bunch of foreigners to take American jobs and keep wages low. Because they don't want to pay their workers because it might decrease their profitability.
So you are pro higher wages?
Of course.
So
that's why I want people that work in the dairy industry or at Tyson Foods or that work with their hands to be able to flourish and buy a home and have an American way of life that is largely forgotten now from.
So, what do you exactly classify as an American? What if it's someone who did come legally?
U.S. passport holder.
Okay, but even if they came here legally?
Well, I said illegally.
Legally.
Well, if they came here legally, if they go through a process, they can get a U.S. passport. Yeah.
Okay.
Until then, they're a visitor applying to be a member of our very large country.
Okay, so pro higher wages for Americans?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's obviously a lot of bad people coming in illegally through the border, but there's also a lot of good people that want to work hard that can't come legally due to the rampant corruption on the border. In some cases, it can cost up to 200,000 pesos to come in legally, and that's more than a Mexican citizen can make in their entire lifetime. So how can we sell them the American dream, but not let them in legally, the people that want to do good, not let them in legally to pursue that dream?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they want to do good. Just send them back to their country. I mean, there's a lot of Vietnamese that want to do good and come here, but they don't live close, so they don't border jump.
So, okay.
This is not their home. Go back to your home and go make Mexico great again.
But they can't necessarily do that while the cartels are running the government. They have no upward mobility, and we sell them the American dream.
Then go fix your country.
Because that's
not my problem.
Isn't that the point of America, to
No,
sell
so
the American dream?
what is the point of America? Is the point to bring in a bunch of foreigners, or is the point to protect our own citizens?
Well,
is it we the foreigners of the United States?
The foreigners are the ones that became the citizens.
Well, is it? Well, that's the question. Were we founded by immigrants or founded by settlers?
They're the same thing.
No, they're not. Settlers come to something not built. Immigrants come to something already built.
But all the immigrants that came to something already built that are now citizens.
Fair enough. Yeah, they're here.
But now we're still selling that dream, but not allowing them in the proper way.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean by selling the dream?
Of the American dream, that's still a huge talking point, and that's still a big claim to fame that we have.
You know, the American dream I want sold is for all American-born kids to be able to own a home and have a family and have kids. I'm sorry if the concern of a third worlder in Honduras is not my primary concern. A whole idea of a government is you put your people first. You don't put the compassionate narratives of someone in the third world first.
Well,
our country's falling apart. Most of you guys will not be able to own a home. You're going to be swimming in debt, medical debt, student loan debt, credit card debt. We're sending hundreds of millions of dollars to Ukraine. So yeah, we should secure the border and put young people first and fulfill the social contract. Then we can worry about the third world.
Wouldn't letting the individuals that want to come here and work hard and contribute to the country make it better for all American citizens?
Has it?
In the past, yes.
Has it the last 5 years? Have the amount of illegals in this country made the country better for all people?
Well, most of those individuals aren't the good people.
So then if they want to be here so bad, we do have a legal process. So then let's go through the legal process.
But the legal process is almost impossible for most people.
Well, it's impossible for Mongolians too.
Okay.
So either we have an immigration system or we don't, and we're deciding we just let anyone in our country no matter what just because they're
my focus was more on the corruption on the
corruption is fine. We can
system.
fix it. That's fine. But my concern is why do we not put, especially American 18 to 20-year-olds first? You guys get the last of everything. Instead, the abstractions of the regime seem to take priority. So,
Gotcha.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Kirk. I have a disagreement with your take on the border policy.
Okay.
To my understanding, you said we should reduce the immigrant on the border to zero, correct? Well, a little bit about myself. My name is June. I just got out of the Marine Corps. My whole career is about war on terror.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Well, at least that's what they told me when they throw me in Bahrain and told me on standby. I'm all about keeping the terrorists out of the country, but I disagree with you because historically speaking, more than 12,000 Chinese laborers built the railroads for America in the 1800s. Not all of them are documented and legal. Thousands of Irish immigrants built the skyscrapers in New York. Not all of them are documented.
No, they
legal.
did come in legally. That is true. The Irish did, yeah.
But also, back in the 1920s, all the way up to 60s, the government took the legislative act of Barcelo Act that imports millions of Mexican workers for the labor work in this country. And why all of a sudden you want to close it down? And there's almost zero exposure on the northern border.
Well, there are people crossing on the northern border too, but why do I want to shut it down? They're breaking the law. Should we not have the law that says you can't walk into the country without proper approval?
Well, for the longest time, they can just...
Well, no, hold on. The Irish came
Really?
via Ellis Island.
Okay.
The Czechoslovakians came legally. The Polish came legally. So I don't know what group you're... I mean, the Chinese, I'll take your word for it. I would imagine they came through a port of entry, and we knew who they were. But we have no idea who these people are on the southern border. We don't know their background. We don't know why they're here. It's 15,000 people a day that are illegally crossing into the country, breaking our laws.
Okay, so for the past 50 years, there hasn't really been a fence or any sort of process to deport them or catch them when they cross
No,
the border.
that's not true. We've had deportations for the last 30 years. In fact, we did mass deportations in the early 2000s. Even Obama deported about a couple 100,000 people a year. So
Why
that's
all of a sudden now everything, you want to tighten up everything?
You know why? Because the border crisis has never been so bad. It used to be a couple hundred a day. Now it's 15,000 a day.
Okay, so it's about the severity, not really about...
It's both. I've always been a hawk on the border, but now it's reaching such a point where illegals are taking over schools in Chicago and New York, disenfranchising native-born American social services. And not to mention, the law is very clear. We have a process to come into this country, and they're deciding to break that law, which is a crime.
Okay, is there a better approach to this besides just shutting up the border?
Yeah, also have Mexico do it, which Trump did. Mexico could secure the border as well, and they're choosing not to. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thanks.
How you doing, sir?
I might have to go visit all those lunatics in a
I do
second.
apologize if I stutter. Not the best at public speaking.
That's okay. Thank you for coming up.
Of course. I was just going to ask, how do we morally deal with, because don't get me wrong, I am conservative. I do believe that illegal immigrants shouldn't come to the country and take up social welfare systems and all that. How do we deal with cases where they came here illegally, they had a child? Should we allow those parents to stay or allow that child to just have no...
It's a good
send the
question.
parents away?
Yeah, just deport the whole family back.
Even though the child has no connections, like to their family's home country.
Oh, so they were smuggled into the country?
No, born here. Like if the
well,
parents
if they're
came
born here, they
right.
stay because they're a U.S. citizen.
So I was
I think we
asking-
should get rid of birthright citizenship, but I don't get what I want. So
So let me get something straight. Is it that they feel or they believe that there are hierarchy to criminal acts? So we see that they feel like there are hierarchy to criminal acts. So some criminals or some law offenders could be forgiven or could be overlooked, or would they rather have a country that doesn't have laws in place to guide the country? Which is it? I think I get it, because watching this video, I'm just trying to understand what they want. Like, because they're against, they're against the structured, and they're against the structured country, right? They're solely against the structured country, but then they're benefiting from the country being structured. So I'm just like, what exactly could they want? What could it be that they wanted? Because do they maybe want? I don't know. I don't know. But one thing I know is that these people are just so shielded that they lose a lot of like focus on what's really really vital. Because why do you want like every country is going to put their citizen first? It's just like in a smaller setting. Let's use a family setting. If you're going to look out for your family first, I'm not saying that you're not going to look out for any other person. That makes you a bad person, right? But you want to look out for your family first before any other family. Because you're a unit, you're together, and you have yourselves and you got yourselves, right? So in a case where I don't know, so is it that you want your government to look out for other people? Let's use the immigrants from Mexico coming in there. Do you want the government to prioritize those immigrants and deprioritize you as a citizen? Maybe that's going to make them feel happy because they're just speaking like they're the most selfless people, the most educated, the most informed intellectual people out there, when they just want, because all they seem to want is an unstructured government, is an unstructured constitution, is an unstructured law. That just seems to be what they want. And I don't know how that's going to be progressive in the long run, because there are measures, as he said, that one of the guys said, what if you came illegally and now you're a citizen? Voila, you did the right thing, right? You went through the right path. Oh, yes, you could have come from the wrong path, but you changed the right, and there were no consequences for that. And then the one who's speaking about wanting to come illegally, but you're coming to do good. If you're good, don't do wrong in order to do right, because it's going to take away from the right you're trying to do. So that is not even an excuse. A crime is a crime. So if you ask it, I don't know what those people want. I don't know what the college students want. I mean, they sound so privileged, and I envy that. I envy that sense of innocence, because it's still very fresh and still raw. Life hasn't thrown so much at them yet. So, I mean, that's why they can come and be pro borders opening, or whatever the title was. But nonetheless, I did get into this. I want to know what you guys think about this down in the comment box. Please do share your opinions and your thoughts with me. I am really gonna appreciate it. But we have come to the very end of today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let's put our heads together and just share our opinions, our thoughts on this topic. Do like this video if you liked it. Subscribe so that I can, get more videos. And yeah, let's keep on staying safe and healthy. So bye.